listening to the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Rachel.
We have a really fun series this summer in honor of the youth gathering happening right around now when this podcast drops. We have invited some young Lutheran ladies for a few episodes to talk about a few things, book club, leading ladies. And today, Erin, you have a couple of special guests in studio with us, which is a very special treat.
It is. It's rare that we get to have the face-to-face guests.
Yeah.
So this is
really fun.
This is excellent. In a way, this is almost like a sub episode for the Missionary 101 series.
It is.
Because this is definitely about missionary life.
Yeah.
But as Sarah said, it is about young ladies as well. So it is specifically about missionary kid life.
Yeah.
So we have two MKs, as they're called in the business, missionary kids who are here with us today. We have Lydia Hanson, who lives in South Korea. And we have Aimee Cima, who lives in Cambodia. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
It is so good to have you both in the studio. And I just want to say how much I'm looking forward to this conversation, and also to apologize to you and to our listeners that I will not be speaking a whole lot during this episode because I have contracted a wonderful summertime head cold. So I'm here. I'm soaking it all up, but I will try to not subject you to my beautiful tenor voice any more than is necessary.
It'll probably help. There would probably be some listeners that would be like, wait,
where's
is
Rachel?
that Erin or Rachel speaking? You definitely don't have your usual Rachel tones.
No, that's okay.
So,
Y'all put up with me when I had COVID
exactly.
and the flu. So.
Exactly. Well, we have some questions. Basically, we want to understand more about what it's like to be a missionary kid, just what your life is like. And yeah, so actually I have one that I'm going to start this way. I'm sorry. You guys can look at me in horror. But anyway, it's one that I didn't even put on the sheet of questions that I told you about in advance. But here's my question. Have you lived your whole life as missionary kids? Okay. So you were born into this.
I was.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So you really are experts. This is fantastic because this is what we need.
That's true.
For this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you start by telling us, how many countries have you lived in?
Lydia, you want to go?
Okay. I've only lived in 2 countries, really.
Okay.
I was born in Hong Kong and I lived there until I was 10. And then I just moved to South Korea 6 years ago. And I'm still there right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have also only lived in 2 countries. I lived in Vietnam from when I was a really young kid, basically born, until I was 8. And then we've been living in Cambodia for the last 6 or so years.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe 7 now.
Yeah. So 2 different parts of Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your school. What does school look like for you?
School, I go to a international school, so I go to Seoul Foreign School.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainly comprised, there's a lot of Korean kids that go there. So a lot of it's diplomat kids, business kids, not a lot of missionary kids, but it started out to be a missionary kids school, but it eventually evolved to becoming more American Korean kids school. So,
okay. Okay.
So I've gone to 2 different schools. So my school in Vietnam, it's Concordia, and I went there for the entire time.
They really are everywhere.
I went there for the entire time I was in Vietnam, and I do really like it. And the campus is very nice, and it's very international. Or when I went there, that was very international. And I now go to another school in Cambodia, and it's also an international school. I'd say the school is more of an outreach program meant to not be a missionary kid school, but school for those in the country. So the population of the school is a lot of Korean and Khmer, and not as many American or less foreigner, but primarily Korean and Khmer. Yeah.
Okay. You've used a word I don't know. What do you mean when you say a lot of Korean and Khmer? What is Khmer?
So we refer to the people and the food as Khmer, the language as well. So it's not like Cambodian people, Cambodian food, the Cambodian language. It's Khmer people, Khmer food, and Khmer language. So it's spelled KHMER.
Oh.
And it's so
I've
some people
seen
say
that
Khmer,
word written.
But
yes.
we usually say Khmer.
Okay.
Okay.
I have learned something.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you each go to an international school that has a fair number of people who are citizens of the country? Yeah, they're Korean, they're Khmer, so citizens, and some who are from other countries in of origin. What does your school day look like? Is it like 8 to 3? Like what is it the same every day of the week? What's your school day look like?
So our school goes from 8 to 3. It's an IB school, so we have a 12-day cycle, I think. So different days have different classes, but it's every alternate day is the same class, but just different order and then different content. But they're all 70-minute classes.
Okay.
And then I think in average, if you don't have a study period, it's 4 core classes and then either clubs, lunch, or religion. So,
What's an IB school?
IB school is like an international baccalaureate. So if you're they separate it into 3 different groups. So it's like primary years program, middle years program, and then the diploma program. So I just finished 10th grade, so I'll be going into the diploma program. And you kind of get tested on 2 years of content at the end of your senior year. So it kind of preps you for college.
And when you said 12-day cycle, do you go like 12 days in a row? What does that mean?
It's like there's a set schedule. So then it'll be 6 days, and then AB. And then it's really complicated to say. I don't even understand it. But basically, like you have 6 days, but you go to school for 5 days a week. But then it'll just carry over into the next week.
I gotcha.
Okay.
That does sound confusing.
Yeah.
Do you have like an app that tells you what class you're supposed to go? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm already having high school flashbacks. Anxiety dreams.
Man, my high school, I had the same classes every day. There wasn't
I only had to worry about my locker combination. I had to worry about what class I was going to.
Yeah, do you have a locker?
Everyone uses it. They all use the community lockers. So you'll just find bags like dumped in the cubbies and but everyone just carries their bag with them.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about you, Bella?
So my school is not an IB curriculum. It's an AP curriculum like here in the States.
Okay.
So I take a mix of standard classes and AP classes. I also have my classes from 8 to 3, Monday to Friday. On Monday, I have 6 classes, each of them being an hour. So 4 in the morning and then lunch. And hold up. Yeah, and then 2 after lunch.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about it right now. I usually don't have my schedule memorized. I just go where my friends are going.
That's fair.
And then on Tuesdays to Fridays, our first 2 classes are 80 minutes each.
Oh.
And we have 5 classes. So we have, I don't really know how it works, to be honest. I think that's pretty much it. 2 80-minute classes and then another class and then lunch and then 2 more classes at the end. But yeah, so we don't have any like fancy IB stuff. We just have the standard AP curriculum. So most people here would understand that.
I mean, even AP is fancy in some places too.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you guys have favorite subjects? I know. I mean, you're getting into like upper grades, or you're getting a little more specialized. What are your favorite subjects in school?
I really like English. This year I got to like learn more about different techniques and like different types of literature. So I really enjoyed that. And I really want to specialize in psychology. And I really liked our unit that we did in psych this year. They kind of try to combine different elements of humanities within a group. So our psychology unit, we kind of did econ psychology. So it's like we did a whole fashion project where we had to research how different elements of like econ and business influenced people's opinions on clothes.
That sounds really cool.
Yes.
Wow. What about you?
So I kind of have like two favorite classes that are pretty polar opposite.
Oh.
So I really like math, and I also really like English.
Okay.
I'm not really totally sure why for each. For English, it just comes easy to me, and that makes it more enjoyable. With math, I just like how everything makes sense, I guess. Like compared to other classes, you just know the formulas and you do the work, and it's much easier. But I'm pushing myself out there with science, and I'm trying to be better at science.
So do you know what do you guys have thoughts about what you want to do after high school? Have you considered that yet? I'm sure you've considered it. But
after high school, I'm thinking of going to college in either Europe or America.
Ooh.
So it honestly all just depends on like different situations and also like different colleges that I'm interested in. So I want to major in psychology and then, just explore different schools.
So I don't have like the most solid plan yet. I'm not totally sure what I want to major in. I've been exploring different options, including like teaching and different things like that. But I do know I really want to go to college probably in the States. I would like to stay in Virginia where my family is, but I'm not like closed off to exploring other options around the States.
Cool. Well, let's get into maybe stuff. So those are sort of questions that anybody living overseas would be able to speak about. But what about missionary kid life? What is something about being a missionary kid that you particularly love?
So one of my favorite experiences being a missionary kid is probably all the culture I've been exposed to. And not just like being international, but also like going to different places and seeing the way they practice Christianity and how different it is from here. Like we have big churches here. We have after services in Cambodia, though, like people worship at home because they don't have a church building like that. And it's just really different. And the cultural differences are really interesting. And also other aspects of culture like food and just having such an international group of friends. It's really cool.
I think over the years, I've realized how privileged I am to be a missionary kid because I feel like I'm exposed to so much more than most of the people like in different countries aren't exposed to. Like I have knowledge of different Asian countries that I would have never known if I would just lived in America. I'm able to meet a whole lot of different people, and I feel like I take those interactions and then try to incorporate them in my life to see how I can grow as a person. So I think missionary life really gave me those opportunities to grow and to explore more of the world.
All right, so me being a normie, I've never lived outside of this country for any length of time. Unlike everybody else here. What is something about being a missionary kid, living internationally, being able to watch your parents do what they're doing and being able to do what you guys get to do? What do you wish somebody like me would understand about life as a missionary kid?
Honestly, it's really not that different if you're just like what you say, it's like a normie. Like
that was Erin's word, not mine.
I guess like because we do everything the same as like we would do if we went to America. It's just a different place, different people. But there's nothing really like so drastic, I feel like, if you were to live in America or Seoul.
I totally agree with that because I think from the stories that people have heard about people living abroad, they definitely picture it different than it is because they hear the differences, but they don't hear how similar it is. Like people have asked me like about like, do they have schools? Do they speak English? Like, yes, they do like all these normal things that people don't realize. Like I live in a city, so it's very international. There are lots of different people. There's lots of different food. Like almost everybody speaks English, and it's more normal than people like hear about, because when you hear the missionaries, like my parents talking about it, they're telling you everything that's different and not necessarily how similar it is. I agree. Like the people are different, the food, the cultures are different, but it's like the same things.
Yeah.
Like me and my friends still go to the mall. We still watch movies. We have all those things in Cambodia.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk more about misconceptions, because this is that's a very interesting point. And something that when we interview missionaries on the coffee hour, we're talking about how life is different and all the different things and the cool things that missionaries get to do. But you're right, there's a lot that's similar that we just don't talk about. So let's talk about more misconceptions about what you hear from people, or what people think that missionary life is like that it's not actually true.
I'm trying to think of things off the bat right now, but hold up.
Sorry, that wasn't on the list.
I mean, there are a lot of times people have come up to me and we're talking and chatting and they're like, oh, do you guys have American food over there? Like, yes, we have American food. We have like almost every food. We have Indian food, Japanese food, Korean food, Khmer food. Like, I'm trying to think of all the foods we have. We have a lot. So we have like burger places. We have pizza places. We have pasta places. We have all these chicken places, you know? We have all these places that they wouldn't think that we would have. Like, we're not living like in a rural village in Cambodia. We're living in like a popular, very populated city. So there's a lot more than people expect.
I'm also trying to think. I can't really think of a lot of misconceptions, because I feel like South Korea is very well known to be very like populated area. So it's not that hard for people to understand what it's like. But I think just the biggest one, like school, like is school really as hard as people think it is? And just like, is everyone really having mental breakdowns every single day? So it's like, but yeah, school is hard, but it's not as hard as like, because it's not as hard as people think.
So you mentioned that there's all sorts of different foods. And while I hear what you're saying, that it's not so different, I will also say that I live in a city, but I would not consider St. Louis to be a highly international city. So we do have some people from other countries, but it's not. I feel like it's maybe not as, or maybe I'm just not integrated into that international community here. What's your favorite food that you eat? We'll go first with just favorite food, and then also like, what's your favorite comfort food when you've had just the roughest week and you're like, but mom, please. What's your go-to for that?
Like food from the country?
Anywhere. Like it's just your favorite.
I do love like a ton of food. I'm a very foodie person, but I'd say my favorite food tends to be Japanese food. You can get a lot of good Japanese food in Cambodia. Sushi, you can get sushi for much cheaper in Asia than you can in America. So we have sushi pretty often. I love sushi. I love ramen. I love udon. I don't know if you guys will know about udon. We have places in Cambodia that make it.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I've never had it.
We featured it in Erin's Diet of Worms recipe.
Oh,
yeah.
It's probably not as good here as it is there, but it's
Probably not.
really good there. But as far as comfort food goes, I will always say pho is my comfort food. It's really, really, really good. And it reminds me of when I was a kid in Vietnam and my parents would take me to this one place on the road, and it's just something about it makes me feel like at home. It's super good.
So for people who are listening who don't have any idea what pho is, or maybe they don't realize that you're pronouncing it pho and they've always thought it was pronounced pho, can you describe it a little bit more for those who haven't even made that connection?
So pho is the type of, it's named after the type of noodle that's in the dish. So the dish has this nice broth, which can be, it's beef-based normally. And it's like, it takes a long time to make. When my mom makes it, you have to start at the beginning of the day if you want it for dinner, because the broth is made from like chicken, or not chicken bone. What am I talking about? Bone, animal bone. It's some kind of bone. My mom makes it. I'm pretty sure it can be based off different things based on the type of pho you're getting. And also there's regional variances between North and South. I tend to go with North food more because I lived in the North. But the noodle itself is, I would not say like a small noodle. It's thick. So, and it's, I don't know how to describe it. I really can't. So
it's just good.
It's just good. It's just pho, I guess. I guess you could search it up online and it would probably make more sense than what I'm explaining it as right now. But a lot of times in America, or even in places where it's hard to get the pho noodle, they use this other kind of like glass noodle, which is not pho at all.
Oh.
And I heavily disagree with people who call that pho because pho is named after the noodle. So if you change the noodle, you can't really call it pho. But I suppose here it's very hard to get those kinds of noodles, whereas in Vietnam, you can find it pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it other than like, if you haven't had it, try it, I guess. Go to Vietnam. Go to a place. You should go. You can ask my mom to make it for you. It's really, really, really like, it's like it's kind of like the Vietnamese equivalent to like, what's it called? The chicken noodle soup. When you're like sick and you have chicken noodle soup, it's just like that, except it's different. It's just like culturally kind of like similar.
Yeah.
Like you eat them when you're sick or in the morning when you just are craving it, I guess.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
I'm not going to lie. There's a Vietnamese restaurant near my house, and it is the place that I will get carry out from them when I'm sick, because you can get, I don't know the proper name for it, but anyway, it's essentially chicken noodle soup, but it has lots of herbs in it and lime, and it's spicy. So if you have a head cold, it's like, it feels good to have the spicy stuff, and has chicken in it. I go with the chicken version, and it is very good. I get it whenever I come back from traveling because it's sort of a comfortable food, and when I'm sick,
right? Because both of those soups middle of in either of them.
Yeah, no pho in the middle of Michigan.
No.
Ugh, I really want pho right now.
Yeah.
We have a place in Virginia and we were going to go after church, but they were closed. Closed on Sundays.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, what about you, Lydia?
I eat with different people, so my favorite foods always are with different people.
Okay.
So with my friends, in Korea, we always went to this chicken kalbi restaurant, which is like the chicken meat, and then it's always seasoned in some kind of spice, and it's really spicy, but so good. And then they add vegetables, and then you can add cheese. You can add these rice cakes. You can add whatever you want, but after we just had exam season, so after exam season, it's so good to just have. Yes. And then with my parents, I like to eat sushi.
Okay.
But comfort food, I don't really get to eat it that often because we only get it when we go to Taiwan. But it's jiro fan, so it's like I like the turkey version, but it's like turkey with rice, vegetables, and then soy sauce. And the rice is kind of cooked in turkey broth. So you feel really full after, but it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. And then you always come with like a tea egg. And then...
What is a tea egg?
It's like a hard-boiled egg cooked in either like black tea or like soy sauce.
Ooh.
So it kind of looks like brownish, but so good. So good. But,
sounds very interesting. Never heard of an egg cooked in tea.
Okay, because now we're getting into the other type of episode I do. So let's just talk a little bit more about this tea egg. So do you boil the egg in tea, or do you boil it first and then peel it and then like cook it again in like a marinade?
I think you boil it in tea.
So you cook it from the very beginning in tea. Okay.
Because then every part of the egg is like brown, except the yolk. But the yolk is a little brown.
So does it come to you already peeled, or are you peeling it at the table?
In Taiwan, they have these little lunch boxes. So they'll give you, in those situations, it'll be peeled. But if you go to like the convenience store, then you have to peel it yourself. But there's just a giant pot of different eggs.
Yeah.
We call them lutan. So there's the eggs in there with the black tea or the soy sauce, and then you just grab one and then you peel it yourself.
Okay. And what is your connection to Taiwan? Because you called out Hong Kong and Korea earlier, but what's your connection with Taiwan?
My mom is Taiwanese, so we always just go back, try to visit every year to visit my grandma. So
okay. It makes sense why you would have one of your primary comfort foods being from the place where your mom is from.
Yeah.
So
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious how many languages you both speak.
Ooh.
Oh no! That was a face of dread. Because you've mentioned 2 countries each.
Mm-hmm.
So I only fluently speak English.
Which is fine. No shame.
So my sister remembers still quite a bit of Vietnamese, and she can understand a lot. I don't remember like anything except the absolute basics, because I left when I was like 8, so I don't remember a lot. I can decently speak some Khmer. Primarily, I speak a couple of phrases that I use throughout the day when I'm like transporting, because in Cambodia we have tuk-tuks, and so I take them to school. I go out with my friends like that.
What's a tuk-tuk?
It's like a 3-wheeled vehicle, like the cross between a motorcycle and a car.
Is it as terrifying as Amazing Race makes it look?
I've never watched Amazing Race, so
they make it look terrifying.
Are you terrified
it's
every morning?
Scary.
Okay.
They're pretty slow. In Cambodia, everybody drives like generally much slower than here because there's no big roads like that, or not almost any. But yeah, I know like enough Khmer that I can communicate with the driver, or I can go out and I can order food, pay for food, or if I need something, I can ask for something. Yeah, but that's about it.
That's a good amount.
Yeah. I took Spanish for 2 years. I'm not that great. Yeah, that's about it.
And is your school in English then?
Yes, but we are required to take 2 consecutive years of language that is not English. And the options offered at my school are only Mandarin and Khmer.
Oh, okay.
So I took Spanish using another platform.
Okay. Very good.
Online school.
Yeah. Awesome.
I fluently speak English, and then Chinese. It's a love-hate relationship. Sometimes, some days, I can speak it quite well. Like, I know a lot of Chinese because I've been studying it since 2nd grade. And also, I've been talking with my mom in Chinese. But other days, sometimes I think I scammed my way into my Chinese class because I don't understand a word. But honestly, like looking back, it's okay. Like I can decently speak Chinese, so I know like I can talk to a fluent person decently. Yeah. And then for Korean, I can get around in Korean a little bit, but it's nowhere near like conversation level. I can get around, order food, ask how much something is, but that's about it.
Yeah. And your school is in English too?
Yeah.
So for people who are listening, so I hear when I'm hearing Lydia and Bella describe their level of fluency, I'm believing them, one, that they have a good assessment of it because of the way they're describing it. So I talk with a lot of people in my job, international mission, and it's always interesting to me when people declare themselves that they are fluent in another language. And I like ask a little bit more of a question, and I'm like, you took 4 years of Spanish in high school. And so hearing you both, you're like, I'm fluent in English. I'm like, you have a true grasp of what level of language is. Yeah, so I'm always intrigued by people who self-proclaim their level of fluency and how they describe it. And the longer, like the more you know of a language, the less fluent you think you are, in my experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I have unmuted my mic because
you can't resist.
I can't. This conversation. But there's one question I really want to ask you both that's not on our list. I'm sorry. And I wanted to jump in and throw it out there before we run out of time. So you have time to actually talk through it. Y'all are missionary kids. I want to know, What is church like for you?
Ooh, yes. This is a great question, Rachel.
Coming from a former missionary kid.
Uh-huh.
Missionary kid, there was no McDonald's in the country, so I'm really glad you guys had a different kind of experience.
Yes. What's church like?
Church is just church.
I love that answer.
We live like right above the church on like another level, so it's like the parsonage. So I go down like 3 minutes before church starts, and it's either 3 minutes before church or Sunday school. But right now we're on a break from Sunday school because it's summer. But church, it's like you sit in the pews.
Okay.
My dad
so they have
preaches.
pews.
They have pews.
Uh-huh.
They follow that LSB.
Is your church in English?
English, yeah. And then my dad preaches. So you're just watching him. And then after church, I hang out with some of my friends there. And then I go home.
Back upstairs.
Back upstairs. There's not really too much about church that's so like special in different countries.
So when you go to a church, like a Korean Lutheran church, do you feel like aside from the language, your experience at your church in Korea is very, very similar? It's just different language to what a service would be like in one of the Korean Lutheran churches, or are there other differences?
I've never been to a Korean church. However, from what I've heard, they aren't mainly Lutheran. They're more Presbyterian, I think.
Yeah.
And I've heard that there's a very big hierarchy within the church. Like, it's the pastor who's like untouchable. Everyone needs to respect him.
Yes.
And then, right. And then it's kind of the more important people of the church and then the congregation. And so much of the church, from what I've heard, is like these people they always need to like, it's what you do for Christ. So the Lutheran like version kind of focuses on what Christ does for you. However, a lot of people in Korea, they are always like, oh, I have to give this offering. I have to do all this. I have to study more. I have to do all these kinds of things. And the Korean churches really emphasize that. And they're always like, yes, pray more, pray more. Like, you need to give more offerings. They more so demand offerings from you, I've heard. But it's just a lot more intense, and it's not as personal as church in America would be.
Okay. What about you, Bella?
So I have a couple things to say. So in Cambodia, the church we go to is a Khmer church. It is like on the bottom floor of a house. There are no pews. We sit on like these plastic chairs. It's like a mix of Khmer and English, but it's only English for us because everybody else at the church speaks Khmer. So we sing songs in Khmer. Sometimes there's an English translation, but it's usually not like super accurate. Sometimes my dad will preach, and that's when I hear it in English, but otherwise it's in Khmer as well. But we do have an Anglican church that's like a little bit far away from my house that we go to maybe like once a month, just like so that we can connect better, since the whole church is primarily foreigners, so we have more chances to connect. And also the services in English and the worship's in English. But I've also heard very similar things about Korean churches. I haven't been to any, but there are a lot of Korean churches in Cambodia, but I also have heard it's like very different from Lutheran churches, which I think I didn't realize how different Lutheran churches were compared to other churches until like I'm at my age and I've been to other churches, and I really appreciate Lutheran churches and how it's the emphasis is placed so much more on how like we can try to live up to the standard, but we fail, and that's why we need God. That's why we need Jesus. But I've seen in a lot of other churches, it's like the worship is about our emotions. It's about like us giving, us doing things. It's just not as much about how we always fail and God will come for us and he does it because we fail. And I really think, that kind of difference has made me appreciate Lutheran churches a whole lot more.
Thank you for that. And I appreciate the reminder. As throughout this interview, what I'm hearing is that despite all the differences, life is life, people are people, and going to church feels like going to a Lutheran church, where which is a great reminder that we have so much in common, even despite the differences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the coolest thing you've learned about any place that you've gotten to live, any of the cultures you've experienced? What's like your favorite thing that you've gotten? I know this is a big question. Your favorite thing you've gotten to experience or do or learn about the culture or country that you've gotten to live in?
I think what I've learned a lot of is how cultural differences go much deeper than just like the surface, where we see like food, the way we dress, and it goes so much more into the way we act. Because as an American, I don't have a ton of American friends. I have like one American friend, and we can kind of connect sometimes. But when I'm like talking with my friends, the way that they interact and also the way that they act, like I love them, it's very different though. Like in America, everybody is much more friendly. We just chat with random people we see. And that would never happen. Like they would never do that. And they're also much less like outgoing compared to almost all the Americans I've met. And they just have this more like subdued and like, again, it's like the cultural differences of like respect your older elders. And so like they don't have the same kinds of interactions with their parents, their grandparents, their friends. Everything is very different. And it's kind of like Lydia said, like the hierarchy. You can see it in pretty much everything. Like, and at the bottom of the hierarchy would be like workers at like a grocery store. You wouldn't talk with them. In America, we really don't care. We talk with our grocery store cashiers about how our days have been. That would never ever happen there, like ever, because there's this hierarchy, and you can see it really much everywhere, and it affects the way that everybody acts, everybody talks, and it's very different from America.
I think what was really cool to see, especially when moving to Korea, is how much pride that they have in being Korean. So, like,
I might have to wholeheartedly agree with you.
Like, they take all their traditions and everything very seriously. So, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, on the light end, like you will see a lot of older people or like just like more traditional people wearing the traditional clothes around the streets, which is fun to see. And they're very stubborn in the sense of like, this is our country, this is how you're supposed to do it. Like if we went to a restaurant, like
I have Korean friends and it's
like say I take you guys to a restaurant and so if we're going to like Korean barbecue, do you think you just eat the meat? Like there's the stove and then you just pick up your chopstick, you just eat the meat like that? They'll look at you like, what are you doing? No, that's not how you do it. And then they'll take it for you and they're like, you take this lettuce, you put the meat in the lettuce, you put this sauce, you put this condiment, you put everything, all these, and then you eat it in one bite. And you're like, oh, but it's too much. Eat it in one bite.
It's never too much.
You have to. And it's very important to them to have these like distinctions because I think of like when they were colonized by like Japan and China. So a lot of their like cultural aspects, they take a great deal of pride in it. And they had the protests in like January. So a lot of that also came with pride and they're like, we need to do this for our rights and stuff like that. So,
All right.
That's cool.
Bella and Lydia, it's been really fun having you guys in the studio sharing your stories with us. It's been fun having you here.
Yes.
It's been fun being here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And ladies, if you want to say anything to Bella and Lydia, you can always comment on this Facebook post and we'll share your comments with them. You can join us in our Facebook group, the Lutheran Ladies Lounge, also on our Instagram page at Lutheran Ladies Lounge. Share your own stories. I know we have other missionary kids in both of those places. So if you'd also like to share your missionary kid stories, feel free to comment in either of those places. You can find all of our episodes at kfuo.org/Lutheran Ladies Lounge or on your favorite podcasting app or on the KFUO radio app. You're listening to the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Rachel.
Views and opinions expressed on the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast may not represent the official position of the management or ownership of KFUO Radio, the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. The Lutheran Ladies Lounge is produced by KFUO Radio and available at kfuo.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a review for us too. If you love the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast, consider financially supporting our producer, KFUO Radio, so we can keep doing what we do. Find out how at kfuo.org/give.